I've been coding for about 15 years now, and I've seen a lot of code editors come and go, but Cursor has been a complete game changer for me. You can use a plain English description to build almost anything that you want. You don't need to know any code. And so today I'm going to show you how I used it to build a pixel art animator for an LED sign that I'm working on. Let's get started. All right, so we've hopped into Cursor. Cursor is an IDE, and just like any other IDE, you have a file browser. Usually it's on the left side. It's left side over here as well. There's some other features like extensions, search. It's just a wrapper for VS Code, so it's pretty similar to that. You also have tools in the bottom here, like you can start a terminal session. It shows you some output from your program. There's a spell checker and another few features down here. And then what makes Cursor so special is it also has this right panel. And in the right panel, you can talk to an LLM. You can either ask it questions about your code or just really anything in general. And then it also has this agent mode, which is what we're going to be using today, what I think is just so special. So to show you how just absolutely insane this is, I'm going to click into the agent mode, and I'm not going to be writing any code for this. I'm just going to be asking the LLM to do things for me. We're going to be making a project today as a demo for a hardware project that I'm working on. And the hardware project is basically an LED matrix sign that will display animations. And it's kind of hard to code up all the animations for the sign. I also am not very good at Photoshop, and I don't want to have to individually build the frames to display the animations for the sign. So I'm just going to make a demo app. It creates some animations for me, and then it displays those animations in a browser so that I can review them and then export them as something that I can use to run my sign. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a node.js project. So I'm just going to ask it, create a simple node.js project with an Express server. And I should say, while it's working, you can select different models. This one, I believe, is a reasoning model, this Claude 4 Sonnet. You can select other ones like ChatGPT, O3 or 4.1. I've found that this one works the best, but it takes some time to actually build out the code. So I'll just skip through some of these parts once we've talked through this first prompt that I've given it. Okay, so it's basically saying, I'll help you create a Node.js project. And it starts with the package.json. So each of these little blocks is like some code changes that the LLM's creating for me. You can click into these to view exactly what's happening, and then you can either reject or accept the code changes. So we'll just go through here and accept the changes. The next thing it did is create a server.js file to run the server. Looks like it's running on port 3000. Created some basic routes like a health check. Looks like there's a route to get users, and 404 handler, error handler, all the basic stuff. So let's just accept these. And then it looks like it also added a README, and then it wants us to run this npm install command. So you can either skip or run the commands that it prompts you for. So I'm just going to run this one, and then it'll run in the terminal down here. Okay, and now it wants us to start the server. So we'll open the terminal, start the server. Okay, so I'm going to skip this and just go straight into the browser, but we'll copy this URL first. Okay, and let's see what it generated for us. All right, so it's just a basic endpoint here that fetches a message, tells you what endpoints are available. So great, it's created these basic files for us. We've run a few commands. Let's start adding on to this server. So I'm going to say, can you create HTML page displays all of the routes? All right, I'm back. I just skipped through all the generation here, but let me just walk through it real quick. So it created an HTML page as the home page. Looks like it added some styles in here. And then it updated the server to serve the static files, which are in the public folder now. It made some changes to the API routes, and then it updated the index.html again to include the new route, and prompted us to start the server again. So I'm actually going to skip this. I'm going to start running the dev mode. So I was looking at the package.json. It created a dev mode for us. which will hot reload the server whenever something changes. So I'm just going to go into the terminal here and do an npm run dev. And so now we should be hot reloading the changes whenever things change. Let's go back into the browser and then, excuse me, we'll reload page here. Okay, so looks like now it has an index page with some available routes. Great. Okay, so let's start building our app. So far, it's just been building out boilerplate, which is pretty straightforward, but now we want to give it a custom prompt and ask it to build our website for us. And this is where the magic really starts to happen. So let me just create a prompt and I'll be back in a second here. Okay, I'm back and I've created this prompt. I'll just read through it right now. So I said, okay, this is great. Now I want to add a page to my app that displays pixel animations on a canvas. The canvas should be 64 by 64 pixels. The animations should run at a consistent 15 frames per second. There should also be a drop-down box to switch between different animations. And I said, please also generate a few animations that we can display on the canvas. They should all be arcade themed and fill the canvas. Each animation should have a black background. Make the following animations: Pac-Man, Space Invaders, spinning Zelda heart container, Mario Fireball bouncing across the screen. All right, so let's send this to the agent and see what it creates. All right, I'm back. So it looks like it created a animations.html file. There's some styling, there's some JavaScript in here, a lot of JavaScript. And then it updated the server.js to add the animations endpoint. So let's accept all of these changes and then we'll go back to the browser and we'll reload this. Okay, so pretty cool so far. So we have a fireball here. So a few little issues with the animations, but overall pretty good. Let's go back into Cursor, and I noticed that it created the JavaScript in the animations.html file, so I'm just going to ask it to move it into a separate file. Okay, I'm back. So it moved the animations to a new animations.js file, updated the animations index.html, and then I've also just asked it to clean up some of the animations a little bit, make them more recognizable, so it regenerated a few things in the animations.js. So let's just take a look at what it looks like now. So we have the Space Invaders, Pac-Man. This one's a little slow, but we can clean that up later. Zelda Heart and Mario Fireball. So this is looking a lot better. Now I want to generate a few more animations just to see what it can do. Maybe all these animations will be retro wave inspired. And then I want to add a hue slider just to change the color of the animations to see how that affects the pixel art. So let's go back into Cursor and ask it to do that. All right, so it just finished generating here. Added a couple new option groups to the animations.html. Looks like it adjusts some styling, created the hue shift change, some new animations, then just some code to tie it together. So I've already applied this. Let's go into the browser and just see what it generated for us. Okay, so we have our hue shift slider, which looks like it works. It's pretty cool. And then looks like we have some new animations here. So let's check these out. This one's called Neon Grid. It's kind of cool. Retro Sunset. I don't know if I would say that this is retro wave inspired, but it looks pretty cool. Synth Car. We have some mountains. Looks like this one isn't animated, which is kind of interesting. We have a neon cityscape. I'm assuming that's like some sort of flying car or something. And Digital Rain, which looks like it's Matrix inspired. So that's pretty cool. I love this. So maybe the next thing I want to do is change the CSS for the entire web page so it's more arcade retro 80s themed. Go ahead and do that. So I just said, can you please change the CSS for the entire website so it's less 2010s and more arcade retro 80s inspired? See what it does. Just finished. So it looks like it did a couple things, added some neon color palette, added some new fonts, visual effects, different designs, some other page enhancements. Let's take a look at what this changed. Okay, wow. Okay, so it has like this little hover effects, which is pretty cool. Let's see what the main page looks like. Oh wow, so we have these cool effects when you hover over each of these sections. This looks pretty amazing, actually. Okay, wow, this is really cool. So let's go back into Cursor, and I'm going to give it one more prompt. So now we have this basic web page built out. I want to export this data in a format that I can use to display on the LED lights for my LED matrix sign. So each of the LEDs will have an RGB value, which is 0 to 255. And then I need to be able to use a matrix to iterate through every pixel and display each frame on the LED light at a consistent frame rate. So let me just craft a prompt and I'll be back with you guys in a second. All right, so I've crafted this prompt. I said, this is great. I'm going to use these animations to build an LED matrix sign that is 64 by 64 LEDs. I want you to write a function that returns a 64 by 64 pixel matrix where each pixel is a 0 to 255 RGB value. I should pass an animation name and a frame number to get the matrix. I also want to visualize these matrices. Can you please create a new section below the animation viewer that displays the 64 by 64 RGB pixel matrix in real time with the animation? There should also be a button to show the outline of each pixel in the animation for visualization purposes. So I have no idea what this is going to generate, but let me try this out and see what happens. Just finished, and we'll just scroll through here. So looks like it added a live RGB value grid, an export feature, which is kind of cool. Clickable pixels, click any pixel to highlight it, get to detailed information, and a live hover view. And I was just looking through this code here. It looks like we have like generated about 1,200 lines of code. And the coolest part, I think, is it actually generated documentation for how to use this get animation matrix name function. So let's go back into the browser and see what it generated for us. Oh wow, this is insane. So it's basically highlighting each pixel, and you can hover over it to get the pixel value. And so also if you click on it, it will give you the pixel location as well as the RGB. And then it displays the value in the grid. Honestly, this is pretty insane. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video of Cursor. Where do we go from here? So I've been coding for over 15 years now. I've done a lot of different things. I've done front-end development. I've done back-end development. I've put in over 10,000 hours. And to build this site would take me weeks. Just the front-end alone for this is pretty complicated. And building the animations from scratch is also something that's not easy to do. So for somebody that's new to coding, you can take an idea and build a basic prototype in minutes. We've been working on this for only 20 minutes now. So what does this mean for the future of programming? You know, I think the future is pretty bright. I don't think that Cursor is quite ready yet for production code. It can hallucinate, have optimization problems. And so I think for now, it's not quite ready. And you still need to have some fundamental basic understanding of computer science in order to make production ready code. Is it getting better, and could it replace software engineers in the future? Perhaps. I mean, it's getting better every week. I think the most powerful thing about this is I could give this tool to my mom and she could build a basic app without having any idea how coding works, what frameworks to use, or anything like that. As you can see through my chat here, I haven't touched any of the code. I've just been asking the LLM to do things for me. So for learning, I think that this is an amazing tool. You can even ask questions about why it did certain things and kind of just go on a journey. So I'll leave this video at that. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and until then, I'll see you in the next one.